It is really pretty.
I'm Nancy Wygant, and I am one of the gardeners. I take care of the kitchen garden and the flower garden right in front of the house primarily. And for us here at Bartram's, because it's a historic site, we're trying to represent what people were growing in the late 18th century, early 19th century. And a lot of those varieties you can't just go out and buy. A lot of them have been maintained by individual seed savers, by other historic sites. So partly we're part of that network, maintaining those historic varieties for the sake of showing people that history. The Pictish warriors riding into battle naked, painted blue.
That's what I was thinking.
So some of the seeds that we grow in the gardens here come from commercial seed companies. Some of those that we order from in particular are companies that specialize in some of the historic varieties or local varieties. Seed Savers Exchange is one of those. Southern Exposure Seed Exchange is a company that specializes in mid-Atlantic regionally adapted varieties, which is a great resource. Some of them also are things that aren't commercially available anywhere and come from other seed savers in the Seed Savers Exchange network, other historic sites who are saving particular varieties that are relevant to whatever period they're. I think partly it's important just for people to have a sense of where their food comes from and to have a sense of how food works so that they can think better. We're never going to produce most of our food in the city, but people can think better about the food that's coming from other places if they have some idea of what does it mean to grow food, what's that process like really, what are the decisions that have to be made about doing it one way or doing it a different way. So for people to get their hands on actually doing that and see other people actually doing that, people know a little bit better how to think about those questions.
My name is Nina Berryman. I'm the farm manager with Weaver's Way, and this is my 7th season farming with Weaver's Way Farms. So Weaver's Way Co-op has 2 farm locations, and Weaver's Way Community Programs, which is our nonprofit, has education programs at those 2 sites as well as a 3rd. So altogether there's 3 farms affiliated with Weaver's Way. And my role as farm manager is to oversee the farm production and farm business of our production sites. And that means that I am responsible for making sure we have good vegetables growing for the community. So Weaver's Way Farms grows a diverse array of vegetables. We grow organically, and we really have a wide spread. We have kale, collards, Swiss chard, mustard greens, dandelion greens. I'm looking at fennel and parsnips and carrots right now. We have cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, and those vegetables find their way all over. Our largest outlet is our CSA. It's called the Henry Gott Crop CSA because it's on Henry Avenue. We also send our produce to the Saul High School cafeteria since our farm here is at Saul High School, and the students really love seeing the vegetables in the field and then on their plate at lunch, so they get to see the whole process.
So Weaver's Way Market is a for-profit cooperative market that is owned by 5,200 households here in the northwest section of Philadelphia for the most part. And the purpose of this cooperative is to provide good quality food, locally produced if possible, and totally transparent as far as our business and our involvement in the community. What I see in the cooperatives, both here in the United States and nationally and internationally, is that cooperatives provide the ability to do almost the same thing that any corporation can do, except that the profit motive, while it's still there, is only there to sustain the business and not necessarily to make anybody filthy rich. And so there's a point where there's just too much money being made by too few people, and the more that we can educate our community, our members, about the cooperative economic model, that I believe that there is the ability to help sustain our communities that are struggling.
We get the bulk of our produce from a wholesaler called Four Seasons, and then we also deal with a few other smaller wholesalers, like Paradise Organics and Common Market, and Zone 7. And then we also have our 2 urban farms that grow some produce. We actually track our local sales, and it's definitely, I don't remember what the percentage is offhand, but it's definitely increasing.
The farms are there to really educate people, to show them that food can come from your city, can come right here. It doesn't have to come from California. It doesn't have to come from Chile, you know.
My name is Elliot Coven. I'm the owner and founder of Farm Truck Philly. We're a local food truck here in Philadelphia. We source from local farms, co-ops, and farm distributors, and we create seasonal menus for our customers on the street every day. There's a lot of, I don't know, Philly's a very blue-collar city, and there's a lot of, cheesesteak, pretzel-eating sort of people, and we were trying to come up with something that would be affordable, but still be local, still be healthy, wholesome, I guess we kind of call it more, and that was kind of the inspiration. Well, I think, obviously, I feel like kind of our culture today doesn't really understand cooking, especially our generation. We've kind of grown up around so many processed foods, so many things that aren't good for us, and if you could just get back to kind of like home-style cooking, just things that come directly from the farm, and we put it into our menu items. I don't know, there's just a quality of food that we've kind of lost, and I like to try and explain it when you just have like a good tomato, like right there, that's just good enough, and that like when you can just get that one pure good item, it's just going to make your food better, and people are going to enjoy it. And if anybody ever wants to stop by the truck, check us out, farmtruckphilly.com. We're always out on the street, and we're always looking to serve good food.